guys, today is a review on 9.7 and 9.8. So this might be long, but I want to cover a lot of stuff here. All right, number one, solve the system by looking at the graph. So where do the two graphs intersect? One's here and one's here. So you need to write those two ordered pairs. So this one looks like it's at -1, -2. And this one looks like it's at 2, 1. And there you go. Super easy. Looking at a graph. Now, number two is by using your graphing calculator. So you're going to go ahead and type those in, and then we're going to do the same thing. See where they cross. All right, so I'm going to clear anything I have. This one is 2 to the x power. And this one is 2x plus 1. And then hit graph. And we should have an exponential growth intersecting a line. And it's pretty easy to see that they cross once, twice. All right, so remember the buttons are second, trace, option number 5. And then get your blinker somewhere near the first intersection and hit enter 3 times. So our first ordered pair is, now remember when it says E, that just means a big 0. So our first intersection is 0, 1. And then we do it again. Second trace option 5, but now you got to get your blinker closer to the other one. And again, hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And this one is at 2.66, 6.32. And those are your two solutions. Oh, there you go. All right, now the one that's the most work is solving by hand. And this is where we use substitution. So remember this. If y is x minus 3, then wherever you see a y in the other equation, you can substitute x minus 3 in its place. So I'm going to do that substitution, and now I'm at x minus 3 equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. And now you guys get everything to one side, factor, and solve. Go ahead and pause the video because I'm going to run through this pretty quick. So we're going to minus x from both sides and then add 3 to both sides. All right, so now because we want it to equal 0. So if you add like terms, it's 2x squared plus 4x plus 0. So I'm just not going to write that. And then we factor. It looks like we can pull out a GCF of 2x. And if you divide that out, you're left with x plus 2. And then that'll give us our two solutions. So the first one is when does 2x equal 0? And the second one is when is x plus 2 equal to 0? And these are easy to solve. If you divide by 2, you get x equals 0. And if you subtract 2 over, you get x equals -2. And I wish we were done, but we're not. We got to find the y's now for each x. So take your x and plug it in, and we should be able to get y. So just plug it into the easier one. Y equals 0 minus 3. So y is going to be -3. And this one, if we plug in -2, y equals -2 minus 3 is -5. So final answer, if you guys want to write them as two ordered pairs, it's 0, -3, and the second one is -2, -5. Oh, sorry. All right, so these are the 3 ways of doing the same thing, solving a system. All right, on to the next page. Linear functions first. So if it's a linear function, there's a couple things you guys have to know how to say. You have to be able to find the slope. and the y-intercept, and then the intervals if it's increasing or decreasing. All right, so look at the graph. Slope, we have to count rise over run. So if you pick a couple points, it looks like we're going up 2 over 1. So the slope is 2. The y-intercept is where does the line cross the y-axis? And that's right here at 0, positive 1. And then it looks like the graph is always increasing. So you could just circle increasing. All right, and then if a table is linear, then the first differences are the same. So what do you do to get from y to y? We're adding 2, subtracting 2, subtracting 2, subtracting 2, subtracting 2. So when that first differences are equal, it's linear. And then we need to know how to write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. So remember, the m is just the slope. So the m is negative 2, and the b is the y-intercept. So 3. So the final answer is y equals negative 2x plus 3. All right, on to exponential functions. If it's exponential, you guys are going to need to be able to determine if it's growth or decay, and then whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So this one is obviously going up left to right. So it's a growth, and if it's a growth, it's automatically increasing. Now, how can you tell if a table is an exponential function? Well, you look and you see, how do you get from one y to the next? It looks like we're multiplying by 3 every time. When it's a multiply or divide pattern, it's exponential. And the model is y equals a times b to the x power. All right, so what are a and b? A is the y-intercept. All right, so a is going to be 2, and then b is what is the growth factor. We're multiplying by 3, so b is going to be 3. And that is your equation. All right, moving on to quadratics. These are the hard ones. If it is a quadratic function, you are going to have to tell us, find the vertex, tell us if it's a max or a min, and then tell us the function or the intervals where it's increasing and the intervals where it's decreasing, because a parabola does both. Okay, so the vertex. The vertex is right here at 2, 2. And I think it's a min, right? It's at the bottom of the graph, so it's a min. Okay, now when is it increasing and when is it decreasing? So it's all about this number, 2. So let's draw even a line through 2. When the x's are less than 2, it's decreasing. So it's decreasing for x values less than 2. But then when your x's start getting bigger than 2, the function starts increasing. So increasing x is greater than 2. And then lastly, how to write the function. Just a reminder, it's y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we have to find the second differences first. So how do we get from y to y? This is minus 3, but this is plus 1. This is plus 5, and this one's plus 9. Now let's find the second difference. Here to here, we're adding 4. Here to here, we're adding 4. Here to here, we're adding 4. Okay, so A, remember A is just half of the second difference. So half of 4 is 2. All right, so that's A. And then C is just the y-intercept. So C is 4. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. A is 2 and C is 4. Okay, now to find B, we're going to pick any ordered pair we want. Just pick whatever looks the easiest to you. I'm going to pick 1, 9. But you guys can pick whatever you want. We're going to plug 1 in for the x's and 9 in for the y. All right, so 9 is y. X is 1. B is missing. X is 1 and then plus 4. And now you guys just have to clean it up and add like terms. So we have 9 equals 1 squared is 1, but 1 times 2 is 2. B times 1 is B, and then you have plus 4. And then we're going to combine like terms. 2 plus 4 is 6. So we have 9 equals 6 plus B, and then draw the wall. Minus 6 from both sides. B equals 3. All right, let's plug it all in. Final answer. Y equals 2x squared plus 3x plus 4. A, B, and C all plugged in. All right, guys, I know that was long, but that is a review of everything. Thanks for watching.